To figure out what ought to happen when we're dividing signed numbers, we need to remember the relationship between multiplication and division. When I say, for example, what is 32 divided by 8? I mean 8 times what number gives me 32? And so 32 divided by 8 equals 4 because 8 times 4 equals 32. With that in mind, let's think about what should negative 32 divided by 8, 32 divided by negative 8, and negative 32 divided by negative 8 be. Right. And there are 4 possible multiplication facts with 8, 4, and 32 with various signs. Positive 8 times positive 4, of course, is positive 32. Negative 8 times positive 4 is negative 32. Positive 8 times negative 4 is negative 32. And negative 8 times negative 4 is positive 32. Remember, a negative multiplied by a negative is a positive number. Okay, so what do we need to multiply positive 8 by to get negative 32? We want to find negative 32 as the result. That means we want one of these two. Which one has positive 8? This one. Negative 32 divided by positive 8 must be negative 4, because positive 8 times negative 4 is negative 32. What do I need to multiply by negative 8 to get positive 32? Oh, looking, I see that negative 8 times negative 4 is positive 32. Positive 32 divided by negative 8 must be negative 4. And then, what do I need to multiply by negative 8 to get negative 32? Looking, I see that negative 8 times positive 4 is negative 32. And so, negative 32 divided by negative 8 must be positive 4. Again, 4, 8, and 32 aren't magic here. Just like with multiplication, we have a summary of the signs. To divide two signed numbers, first divide the absolute values, and then the sign of the quotient is, well, of course, a positive number divided by another positive number is going to be a positive number. A positive number divided by a negative number is going to be a negative number. A negative number divided by a positive number is going to be a negative number. And a negative number divided by another negative number is going to be a positive number. Let's try a couple of examples. Let's say we want to divide negative 12.3 by positive 15. Well, the result is going to be negative. And now we're going to divide in the usual way. 12.3 divided by 15. We're dividing by a whole number already, so we don't need to mess around. Decimal point in the answer goes right above the decimal point in the dividend. 15 doesn't go into 1. It doesn't go into 12. It goes into 123. Let's take a guess. It's going to be big, right? Let's try 8. 8 times 5 is 40. 8 times 1 is 8, and 4 is 12. 8 times 15 is 120. Subtract 3. We've still got something left, right? So what do we have to do? Add another 0 and bring it down. We've already got a decimal point, so we can add zeros all we want. 15 goes into 30 twice, because 2 times 15 is 30. Nothing left. So we already know our answer is negative. It's going to be negative 0.82. Or let's try another example. Let's say we had negative 2/3 divided by negative 7/5. Well, we know our answer is going to be positive because it's a negative divided by a negative. We'll work out 2/3 divided by 7/5 off to the side. All right, to divide by a fraction, we multiply by its reciprocal. We'll have 2 times 5 over 3 times 7. No common factors here, right? So that's just going to be 10 over 21. So this is going to be positive 10/21. And we don't need to write that positive sign. I was just writing that in for emphasis. It's just 10/21. Let me give you a couple of these to try. Positive 68 divided by negative 4 and negative 42 divided by negative 0.7. Pause the video and try these now. All right, 68 divided by negative 4. The answer is going to be negative. And to work this out, we'll say 4 goes into 68, ignoring the signs now. 4 goes into 6 one time. 4 goes into 28, consulting the multiplication table 7 times, with nothing left over. So this is just negative 17. Negative 42 divided by negative 0.7. Well, we know that's going to be positive. Negative divided by negative. And what's it going to work out to? Well, we don't want to do this division problem, right? We don't want to divide by a decimal. So we want to move the decimal point one place to the right. We want to do the same thing here. So the division problem we actually want to do is 420 divided by 7. 7 goes into 42 6 times, consulting the multiplication table if we want. Oh, nothing left. Am I done? No, I've got a 6 in the tens place. So this is actually 60. Negative 42 divided by negative 0.7 is positive 60.